We move on here in the final half hour of the morning show on Newstalk 580. Of course, Jack O'Malley, Wendy Nienhaus, and Mary Dew joining in here today. We have guests now from Child and Family Services, one of my favorite organizations in northern Michigan. And joining us today is Emma Gomez and Caitlin Martin. Ladies, thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
All right, so you are here to tell us about the Brown Bag fundraiser.
That's right.
What is it?
So our Brown Bag fundraiser, this is actually our 37th year doing it, and so it's been going on since 1989. And the way that it started is, when kids come into foster care, they come in with very few belongings. And, back in the day, it was a brown paper grocery bag full of whatever items they may have. So that's how we started this Brown Bag campaign, by putting tiny little brown paper bags in newspapers. And you'll see those in your local newspapers. And then people would send in checks to Child and Family, and that money goes directly to support kids in foster care in your community, in your area across northern Michigan. We cover about 23 counties across northern Michigan. So if you're listening to this, we are probably where you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now it's a little bit different, right? I mean, newspapers, maybe not exactly the same way. Are you outside of newspapers as well?
We do some grocery stores, some local grocery stores. Olson's is a big supporter, so you can find them in that store. Other local little markets, Oriana. So check out your grocery store. We also run a social media campaign, so you'll see us online too. Yeah. The campaign still really is pretty original. We still do the brown paper bags. You'll see those at the grocery store. It works.
Yeah. So the idea is you want to raise money for all the things that Child and Family Services does.
Yeah, definitely. When kids come into foster care, like I said, they have very few belongings, and we try to take care of that and make sure that they have what they need. But on top of that, I think it's important to have more than what they need, because kids who aren't in foster care, they get to go to summer camp. They get to take driver's training. They get to take a dance class. We want to make sure that kids who are in foster care have access to those same extracurricular activities. Sure. Because, I think a common myth of foster care is that foster parents make a lot of money somehow being foster parents, and that could not be farther from the truth. There's actually a deficit when it comes to how much it costs to be a foster parent and raise a kid, especially these days. We know how expensive everything is. So we want to make sure that kids who are in care have access not only to the same opportunities that kids who aren't in foster care do, but also to extra things. Counseling expenses is another thing. We offer a lot of different types of counseling for kids who are in foster care, because sometimes traditional talk therapy doesn't work. So we do equine assisted therapy, horse therapy, which
Sure.
is like amazing for these kids. And there's programs that they can participate in. So we want to make sure that we have funding for all those things to help these kids get a leg up and be able to thrive in their homes and in a really difficult situation.
Well, you talk about the costs for extracurriculars and that sort of thing. Even if a child is high school age, let's say, you want to play a sport, there's still expenses. The public school covers a lot of that, but yet there's uniforms, there's gloves, whatever the sport they're playing. So this fund, the monies from the Brown Bag campaign will help take care of that.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to stress too that, we started out, our founding mission was foster care and adoption, but we've really expanded over the years. And so this fund is available to all of our clients. So we serve a lot of disadvantaged populations. And so it's not just kids who are in foster care. We also have a youth services program, which is in the school and doing suicide prevention, homelessness prevention for teens and youth. That's an example. Our youth work program, which employs young adults to do conservation work. All of these kids and families come from disadvantaged backgrounds, and so we want to be able to help a lot of people in our community.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in 23 counties. I remember when first it was 11 counties, and now it's stretching out a little bit.
Yeah, so we service basically the way we say the west side of 75 from Manistee all the way up to the bridge at this point. And so that's kind of just how it works with being in a rural area.
Yeah.
We've got people traveling all over that service area to
meet
to
the
help.
need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that as I was getting involved with child and family, that I learned was, you talk about your foster kids and adoption, but the state only goes so far.
Yeah.
And when these kids, depending whatever program they're in, when they hit 18, they're still kids.
Oh yeah.
And in some cases maybe didn't really learn how to live life, and you have programs there that are for those young adults who are learning. And I know in the past that I've heard, and maybe you can comment on it, things like pots and pans, dishes,
Oh, yeah.
bath
Yep.
towels. The kid just popped out of public assistance here with this. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, who does at
Yeah.
18? I mean, who, no matter who you are, if you're
Yeah.
18 and you're on your own, you need help,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Like Emma mentioned, our youth services program, we have counselors that work with young adults and help them get on their feet. We had a counselor just share a story about helping one of her young adults learn to pay their bills, learn how to light the pilot light on a furnace, stuff like that. So we're helping, we're supporting, we're giving things that people need, but we're also there and we're helping, we're teaching.
Sure.
Yeah. Another program that we have is called Independent Living Plus, and that's for kids who are sort of in that stage of transitioning out of foster care. And so it's for kids ages 16 through 19 who are, ready to take that next step into independence. And it's a group home setting, and where we teach those independent living skills. And they pay a small amount for rent that goes into a pot, and they are learning life skills.
Sure.
They're either in school or they're employed, and so like Caitlin said, we're there, we're with them, alongside them, and we do a lot. It goes on and on.
Yeah.
If you had an hour, we could be here for an hour. But
Well, the other thing I would say, folks, if you have the opportunity, please do donate. I'm assuming you don't have to have a brown bag to donate, right?
oh no, we try to make it real easy. So
And we'll get to that in a minute. But I guess my little soapbox here is when a child is born, they do not have any say in who their parents are.
yeah,
And so this little one enters the world, and if mom and dad are great, they hit the jackpot. If mom and dad have issues, now the little one has issues. And so they don't have a choice. And that's where I think we as adults, we as community, have to help these kids, because we want them to grow into quality adults. And if we just let them go, again, I said I was on my soapbox. Right?
no, go ahead.
Is we talk about kids, and we want to help them, and we want them. People don't stop and think about the foster kids, the kids that are already here, and we have to think about those kids. At last I heard, you can correct me if I'm wrong, statewide, there's like 13,000 kids in foster care. Think about that. That's 13,000. That's a crazy number. So when you're thinking about your own kids, your other whatever, let's just remember these poor kids that they didn't have a choice. They just showed up because that's the way nature works. And mom and dad, for whatever reason, maybe tried. I don't know. I'm not disparaging anybody.
Yeah.
But they need help.
Yeah, and I want to say too, we help the parents as well. The most common goal in foster care is reunification. we want to help those parents because guess
Sure.
what? They didn't have a good start either.
More than likely.
Right? So we want to help them. A lot of times we're dealing with mental health issues, we're dealing with substance use issues, and a lot of times these kids who are in foster care are sometimes with relatives. So we want to be able to keep that family unit together and get them back with their parents whenever possible because, I've been doing this work for, I've been with Child and Family for 11 years and before that 3 years in child welfare work. And I never once have met a parent who didn't love their child, So we want to facilitate that whenever we can. Sometimes it's not possible, and that's sad, but we do our best. And then the other thing I would say, too, you talk about how many kids are in foster care. I want your listeners to know also just that we really need more foster homes right now. Statewide, there is a foster home shortage, and maybe you're not able to be a foster parent right now, but maybe you could spread the word for us, because if you know someone who is interested in being a foster parent, maybe it's something they're thinking about. Maybe they're empty nesters now and they got a spare bedroom, or maybe they are just looking to fill their home with kids. We really, really need more foster homes right now. It's a crisis. It's a statewide crisis that we're experiencing. So
Very good.
I have a question, you guys. First of all, thank you for all you do, and thank you for sharing with listeners. And when we're discussing some heavy stuff that our youth and our adults are going through when they're entering a program, and what you provide there at Child and Family Services is so important. How about the support for mental health? I know you guys look to that, and I know that your organization really makes a point to provide these kinds of services. What can you share about that?
sure.
Yeah, we do have counseling services. I would say pretty much majority of our clients utilize our mental health services. So we have counselors, and like Emma said, there's different types of therapy. So talk therapy. I know one of our counselors does a lot of art therapy with the little kids. We have definitely some kids that come into care are, nonverbal, or might have a harder time expressing themselves.
Yeah.
And like Emma said, the equine therapy is big. That's a really cool thing. We're really proud to be able to partner with and offer.
And it sounds like you meet the individual where they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of alternative therapy options we try to be able to provide for kids so that they can, make that progress. And
Sure.
Jack, you were at our Paper Angels this year,
Yeah.
and you got the opportunity to actually meet a kid as Santa Claus.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. The kids are great, and and he had some kind of developmental issue, didn't he?
Yeah. He was one of the kids who was nonverbal.
Okay.
And our therapist, she knows American Sign Language, and so she actually helped him learn how to sign and express himself. And I think that was one of the he just lit up when he saw you as
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
That
It
was
was
so
so sweet.
sweet.
It
My
was
alter
adorable.
ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's he was a sweetheart. You're right. There, I have a picture that he's just got this look on his face, and it's like, Santa does it again, man.
Right. Met his
Yeah.
hero that day.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, we have clients will still utilize our therapy services even after, they're not clients anymore. Maybe they've been adopted or reunified. They're still seeing our counselors. That doesn't end. When,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
What great support. And just to know that that's, baked in.
Yeah, I think we do a really good job of following these kids and these families even after they're no longer clients, because the truth is the people who work at Child and Family Services, they care so much, truly. And how
What
can
I've
you
seen,
not?
I agree.
Because how can you not? You don't get into this work. You certainly don't get in this work for the money. You get into this work because you care about kids and families. And, I know workers who don't even work at Child and Family Services anymore, but they still see their kids, who maybe have been adopted. It's been 5-10 years. And I remember going through a drive-through, and one of my former youth was working at the drive-through, and he called all the other staff who was working there, and he said, "Oh, you want to come see my other mom? Come see my other mom." It just like fills your heart.
Sure.
It's so sweet. But that's why we do what we do, and So I want people to know, the workers there, they genuinely care
And
about the kids.
I would, like I said, I've been sort of affiliated off and on over the years, and I agree. I've always said, Child and Family Services, you folks are doing God's work. So, money, donate.
Right.
Because it goes to good causes. It's not, everything goes to the kids.
Yeah.
So how do they donate? They look for the little brown bag newspapers in grocery stores, but if somebody just wants to donate, how can they donate?
So you can visit our website, cfsnwmi.org. You can check out our Facebook page, our Instagram. That's a really easy way to do it. If you happen to see one of those brown bags or a flyer for the brown bag, we put a QR code on there, so you can just scan the QR code and go to donate. But yeah, I mean, Google us. You can call our office if you want. You can stop by, take a tour, say hello.
You won't turn them away.
No, we sure won't.
All right. Well, very good. Emma Gomez, Caitlin Martin, Child and Family Services, the brown bag. When's it go through? The fundraiser go through?
Well, it goes through the summer. There's not really like a set end date because we put these bags out into the universe, and then people might see a bag in November and be like, "Oh yeah, I meant to donate to that," and then they'll go ahead and do it. But yeah, it's sort of our big summer campaign.
All right. You'll accept donations year round.
We sure will.
Absolutely.
Very good. All right, ladies, thanks for being in today.
Thank you.
Thank you
What
so
do.
much.
You bet.